Hello, I'm Kurtz, Lansing. I'm the curator here at the Florence Griswold Museum, and we're in our exhibition, The Great Americans, Portraits by Jack Lahav. The exhibition includes over 30 portraits by Jack Lahav of people that we can consider some of our national heroes, but it also, in this gallery, includes a kind of group portrait of another group of artistic greats, members of the Lime Art Colony. Jack was very interested in creating this little mini exhibition, Degrees of Separation, which looks at the bonds that connected those artists who came together here at Old Lyme at the boarding house run by Florence Griswold. And he was especially intrigued when we shared our permanent collection with him at the number of artists' tools and materials that we have from those colony artists. So on this wall of the exhibition, Jack worked with us to curate a selection of those palettes used by Lime artists, and then combined with them some of his own palettes. He is very interested in the way that that artists play a role in how we formulate our ideas about the people in their portraits. Jack has explored the palette as a kind of starting point for the artistic process. Do you have to just work on a wooden palette like the ones that the Lime artists use, or can you work on another surface? So for example, one of the types of palettes that he has lent us for the exhibition are some palettes that he uses, which he makes or puts on books. So one of those is shown right here. Primes the book with something that helps hold the pages together, and then he can use the surface of it as a place for his paints for when he's working on a portrait. And conceptually, this idea really fits with Jack's approach of how he gathers ideas and knowledge and research about the people in his portraits, often consulting many books. And then it's as if the book itself is a kind of starting point for what he paints in his portrait. He also is kind of fascinated by the way that books are very precious objects to us. So what does it mean to turn one of them into a painting palette as opposed to something that we can open and find knowledge and information or inspiration in? And so one of the things that he's also intrigued by is what role do books play in our contemporary culture now that we are doing so much more research and information gathering from internet resources. And Jack himself combines both book research and internet research in gathering information about his portrait subjects. So it's an interesting thing to think about whether books are in some way obsolete, the kind of thing that could become just a surface for your paint, or what cultural value they still have, which is very, very rich. This is actually a book about an artist, Joseph Mallard William Turner, who's a very expressive 19th century British painter whose work Jack admires. And then Jack has also included, in addition to some palettes that he used for many different paintings, he's included a new palette that he started to use while he was painting one of the portraits that he made for this exhibition, his portrait of the political figure Harvey Milk. This is that palette. Which is not on a book, but on just a hard kind of surface. And he set it up sort of in a kind of rainbow spectrum, which matches the rainbow color palette of Milk's suit. And Milk is somebody who's known as one of the first openly gay people elected to public office when he was elected to the city government in San Francisco in the late 1970s. So he set up the palette to give you the colors of that suit, but then he's also, you can also see something about the painting process in the way that you have pure colors on one side of the palette mixed with a little bit of black or with a little bit of white to kind of extend them into all of the different tones and tints that the artist needs. When you come to this gallery, you'll be able to see the full range of palettes that Jack has made or used used, as well as other examples from our collection, including these really large studio palettes that the line painters used when they were painting at their easels, and as well as folding examples that they used when they set up their portable easels outdoors, and even a really precious small-scale watercolor painting box for painting very delicate portrait miniatures on ivory and watercolor. So I hope you'll come to the exhibition, which is open through May 12th.